welcome. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for coming to my channel. Where do I even start? This has been something that's been pushing me and pulling me to do for quite some time. I've been not really sure where to start or how to start or what to do. And I've decided now's the time and I just need to do it. And I need to share my heart. That's what I'm here to do, is to share my heart, share my truth that I've been shown, tell my story, and I hope bring hope and love and more unity. That's the purpose of my channel. I don't want to stir fear or division or any of that, because we have way too much of that already. My name is Jenny. The channel's named The Assignment, and I'll tell you the story behind that in the video. But about a year and a half ago, I was awakened from my sleep, and I heard a voice in my ear that said, start a Twitter. And at the time, I was kind of like, what was that? That's never happened before. I kind of sat up, shook off my sleep, and got my phone and looked to see, because I thought I had a Twitter. I remember creating one a long time ago, but I didn't even know if it was even on my phone anymore because I've never used it. So I looked, and sure enough, I had it on my phone, and I actually had my Twitter account that I created in 2011 with nobody on it because I'd never used it or done anything with it. And I started just seeing information and people sharing stuff and following people, and it was kind of like I followed them, they followed me back kind of thing. And my channel just started to grow. And what was happening is I was kind of creating this bubble of information that was just coming to me and flowing to me. And I started to have this realization that there's people that are spending a lot of time doing research and digging and trying to share truth. And after about 2 weeks of this, I can't explain it. I don't even know how to say it without sounding kind of crazy, but I just had this knowing in my heart. This is why I'm here. 100%. This is why I'm here, and I need to embrace whatever this is and dive in, and the rest is history, really. Here I am a year and a half later. I feel like a butterfly who's come out of my cocoon. Honestly, it's been a journey. Kind of a journey that broke me and has built me back up, and glory be to God, because I can see clearly now, and I see the work He's been doing in my life. And I now know it was the Holy Spirit that woke me up that morning and said that to me and guided me to Twitter and brought me to the truth. What I didn't expect in this journey is to learn the things that I did. When you start learning things that are kind of earth-shattering to your reality. I learned things about pedophilia that I never wanted to know. I learned things about Hollywood. I learned things about our government, the systems, medical systems, all of this. Everybody was working on different things, but in a kind of strange way, all of them were working on the same thing, but it was really overall just truth, trying to share truth, their truth, what they were learning. And I don't know if these people were called like I was. I don't know their stories. I just know I found them on Twitter and realized that there's a bunch of beautiful souls out here fighting for our country, sharing truth. And when you start seeing that all these people are sharing these truths, and then you turn on the news and nobody's saying anything about it. Two different realities happening. You've got all this over here, and then you've got what they're telling you. I got to the point where in my reality, literally, and this sounds extreme, but it's just a good analogy in my mind, and it is extreme, it's not the real truth, but it's just like an analogy, is when I looked to the sky and I saw the beautiful blue sky, I started questioning, is the color blue even blue? You know, they told me it's blue, I believed them, you know, like they told me that all these things were good and I believed them. What's real? What's true? What's lies? What's deception? Like, how do I know, you know? And that's really where I was. I was in a place of all this information, overwhelming information, things about our country, things about the wars that we've had in our country, things about our medical system. These people were trying desperately to share information and truth. I wanted to be part of it. I wanted to help. Unfortunately, I didn't know a lot of all these things, so it was really just digging and looking and researching, and I literally started spending about 6 hours a day looking and trying to understand. When your world's rocked at a level where your entire truth, your entire reality is in question, like what is true and what's not, And why, when I was looking on Google, am I not able to find things? You know, I started to realize that um, why is this information not able to be found? You know, I had a nice patriot that I had discovered along the way that told me not to use Google. They told me sometimes you need to use alternative methods to find your information because they're hiding stuff. And I'm not saying Google is, but I'm saying sometimes I couldn't find things. I don't know if their algorithms are set different to put that kind of stuff further down. I really don't know. All I know is sometimes I wasn't finding what I needed there. I was told to use a Brave browser and use DuckDuckGo. So that was my new place where I was researching, and then I would find things. So long story short, I spent a lot of time researching and digging and learning, and it's brought me to a beautiful place in my life. And it's taken me to a place where, like I said, when your reality's rocked and you're the only one there that's seeing all this craziness, that's deception. Nobody around me was digging into this stuff. Nobody else was looking. It was just me. And here I am, like, wanting to scream from the mountaintops these truths and revelations that I am being given and shown and learning. And everybody was looking at me like I'm a lunatic. Still to this day, people look at me like I'm crazy. And honestly, I've gotten to the point now, I don't care. Before, it really bothered me. I'm like, how can this person know me for 20 years and think that I'm lying? Like, that I would lie about something like this? Because I would never. My heart is never to deceive people. I just want the truth. I want information. I want to know the truth. I want to know what's safe for my kids. I want to know what's not. I don't want lies. So it started my journey. I am a mother of 4 beautiful children and a wife of 26 years. I worked in corporate America for 22 years. My husband finally convinced me enough was enough and my kids needed me at home. I was a hamster on a wheel. Literally, if I could get through my week and make sure my kids got to school every day and ate a healthy meal, and sometimes just a bag of McDonald's I had to hand them because I didn't have time, and get my laundry done by Sunday, I had succeeded for the week. That was my measure of success in life at that time. I didn't know any better. It wasn't until I was freed, my husband had me quit, or convinced me to quit, that I had the time to really realize some of these things. So I'm hoping that because I've been blessed with this time to have this realization and these revelations, that I can share with you guys, with others, and at least have people maybe having a question in their head and not just blindly trusting what they're being told. Last night I was sitting in a restaurant with my son, and we went there to plan this video, and the table across from me, they were talking, 2 different tables talking about the vaccine, and I think everybody at the tables, other than 2, had had the vaccine. They were talking about their side effects and what a doozy it was, and how their arms were so sore, and it took them how many days, and they couldn't go to work. And I wanted it took everything in me not to just run to their tables and like tell them the truth. But I'm trying not to bring fear. So then there should be no fear, because the truth is we have God, and He's doing a mighty work right now. He's trying to show us the truth. He wants us to turn to Him. He wants us to ask Him. The problem is, many of us, like myself included, when I worked 22 years in corporate America, I didn't have time in my day to even realize. I mean, I would say a prayer before I went to sleep at night, but my prayers back then were just, protection and, for my family and loved ones and things like that. He's shown me that we need to turn to Him way more than we have been, and that He's got us, but we just need to turn to Him. So in my job in corporate America, a little bit of background is I was an inventory manager for a medical supply distribution company, and part of my job was to do seasonality and planning for the flu that was coming every year in that same time of years, to build up inventory, track it on the CDC website, look into the information that was being posted, and then plan accordingly. So every year I would go on and I'd start watching the states about the right time and start building inventory and making sure, we were ready for whatever was coming. We used the CDC website, we used the flu maps, we used Verus data, all kinds of things. The time it was like my nightmare. I hated it. Every year it was something I dreaded. Now I think back and I think what a blessing it was that I got the opportunity to see this information and know how it was presented, because now I can go back to that and see so clearly that something's not right. There's deception. There's no flu. There's no flu this year, guys. Have you guys looked? It's just miraculously gone. I think there was 1,800 and something cases this year, and there's millions every year. I've also learned in this journey that viruses aren't even real. They're created in labs to keep us sick, to keep us going to the doctors to get these jabs, to get these antibiotics and all this garbage that we're putting in our bodies because we're trusting the system that's telling us to do this. We're trusting that we need all these jabs for our children so that they can go to school and be educated. What I've learned in this is they're being educated to what the system wants them to know. They're being told to, 1 + 1 = 2, what have you, but also, go to school, go to college, go get a job, get married, have kids, be successful so you can pay your taxes and all these things. And my new reality is kind of just, we need to protect ourselves and we need to know the truth. And if we're not looking or knowing to look for the truth and we're just blindly trusting what we're being told without realizing that these systems are becoming, think about it, the pharmaceuticals, think about the medical system, think about it. They're making billions off of all of this craziness. They're getting rich off of us running and getting these free pokes, My first child, who is now 24, I didn't really have any worry about vaccines back then. Never really thought about it. But by the time I had my other boys, which was 10 years later, all of a sudden I just had this knowing that I shouldn't be doing this. And now I don't want you to think I'm anti-vax or anything like that, because it's really not about that. I just had an aha moment, an epiphany. Something inside of me was telling me this isn't good for my kids. And I unfortunately followed what I was being told to do. In order for my kids to go to school, they had to go get these jabs, however many of them there are now. If you look at how many there were 20 years ago versus how many there are now, that should be a red flag to every single one of us. But like I said, I'm not anti-vax. I have no problem with something that's good for us, that can help us. But what I've learned is maybe they don't have our best intentions at heart. So I don't want anybody to take my word for it. I don't want people to trust me. I don't want people to listen to me. Please don't listen to me. But I'm hoping to plant a seed to hopefully have somebody go do some research. Ask God. Ask Him what it is that you should do. And then listen. Pay attention, because He'll talk to you. He'll show you. He'll tell you. And it may not be in a way you think. He's not going to obviously knock on your front door and say, hey, don't do this or go do that. You're going to see signs and wonders. You're going to find that He's speaking to you through whatever means He needs to answer those prayers and tell you what it is that you need to do. Trust Him. Ask Him. Because I know 100% in my heart, nobody in my family will be getting this, and I'm so blessed that He woke me up that day, brought me to the truth, so that I'm able to protect my family. But I don't believe that I would have been in a place to spend the time learning the truth and protect my family if I wasn't home. So the reason I'm here is for all of you parents and all of you people who are on the hamster wheel that I used to be on, and that just have 5 minutes to turn on your news at the end of the night and you're racing to go get these jabs. Ask God if it's what He wants. He created us in His perfection and His image. He's going to protect us. We never turn to Him in our lives. I never did until now. When you get rocked and your reality gets shaken like mine did, you don't really have a choice but to turn and ask for guidance, truth. I love you guys, and I have no judgment for anybody that's out there that might be thinking about doing this and might be afraid of what this is. But I'm telling you, you have God on your side. If you have Him working for you, there's nothing to be afraid of. There's no need for a vaccine. There's no need for a medical system. We have cures for so many things that have been kept from us, been hidden from us. There's great things, I believe, to come once we get through this mud and people realize the deception that's out there. Right now, I believe there's not a man on this earth that could come out and share this truth and be believed. That's why I don't have hard feelings that nobody believes me, because why would they? It's just absolutely the opposite of everything they've been told. That's why I know this is God doing a mighty work. It's only Him that can actually bring us through this, and bring us through this in a way that's so glorious that I truly believe by the end of this that there's not going to be a single person not on their knees praying. And that's what we need to do, guys. Once we right this ship and we take back our power and we turn to God, He's going to show us the way. He's shown me the way, and it's glorious. My son, my youngest, came to me after many, many prayers for truth. I asked God, show me the truth and keep everything that is not for my highest and best good in your glory out of my view. I don't want the bull crap. I don't want the lies. I want your truth. Put it in my heart so I can share it. And He's done that. My son actually walked in my room about 9:30 one night while I was writing Bible verses, and he kept coming in, and I kept shooing him away, telling him I was working on something. And he finally said, Mom, if you would just listen to me, I know things I want to tell you. And I felt really bad. I put my Bible down, called him in, told him to sit on my bed and give me his heart. Tell me what's on your mind, bud. And he blew my mind. Our conversation started at about 9 o'clock at night, and it lasted till about 6:30 in the morning. This little angel has been sent here to guide me through whatever this is. Like I said, when I went to Twitter, I had this knowing that this is why I'm here. And I believe truly in my heart that He is here for the same reasons I'm here. And He gave me a message. He told me this jab is taking away people's silver cord that connects them to God. He told me that my middle son didn't have a cord connected to God, and I immediately realized that's because when we went to get baptized at the beach, my middle son got stung by a stingray and never got baptized. So the main message behind this is, have you been saved? Because these evils that I've learned are literally like revelations times realizations. And I don't say that in a scary way, because I feel it's beautiful. All of us that are saved and are God's children and who have given ourselves to God, we have nothing to worry about. But my fear is that there's many that are on that hamster wheel that have just lost their way like I had. I wasn't praying. I wasn't going to church on Sunday. I was just trying to get my laundry done and keep my house up and get to work on time and do all the things I've been told to do. And I know there's millions of people out there like that right now that are turning the TV on for 5 minutes before they go to bed and believing what they're being told. So I ask you to please share this video. I have no intention of making a penny off of this. I don't even know how to do technology. I don't know how to do all this. My kids set up the camera for me so that I could do this. My youngest told me, it's time, Mom, you need to do this. So here I am. I'm doing this, and I don't know where this journey is going to lead me. I just know that I need to share some of the truths that I've learned, and I need to stop people from racing to put this poison in our children. These children have no risk from this virus if you look at the data. If you look at the children that are being impacted from the jab, there's very big risk there. There's children that are getting blood clots in their brains. There's children that are having trouble walking. We're doing damage to these children, and we think we're doing good because we're trusting what we're being told. Our children need God. We need to pray for our children. We need to pray for protection, and we need to believe that God will protect us. We need to take these muzzles off on Memorial Day, and we need to remember how many men gave their lives for our freedoms and how many people are giving away those freedoms because we're being told you got to wear a mask. Now you got to wear 2 masks. These masks aren't protecting you. Why is it okay to wear a mask that has gems on it, that has holes everywhere? The truth is they don't want us smiling. The truth is they don't want us hugging each other. They don't want us loving each other. So I ask you today, please, give your children a hug. Listen to them, because they're our future, and they're here to tell us the truth. And these children with autism that are coming in, they're the little canaries in the coal mine that are trying to tell us this world is sick. We need to do something as adults. We need to do something. And I truly believe that is we need to turn to God, and we need to believe in miracles, and we need to believe that we can turn this ship around, because I know we can. We can. With God on our side, we can do it. So I ask you guys, don't take my word for it. Say a prayer. Ask God for the guidance that you need. Ask Him what it is He wants you to do. Does He want you to go get this or not? And then watch for the signs. And then act from your heart. And share this, please, because if it just reaches one person and saves them, then it's worth this whole entire journey that I've been on. I pray that you guys will subscribe and show up and see my content. I love you. Like I said, only love in my heart for every single one of you. And I don't care what side of the political world you're on. I don't care. My goal is just people and love and unity, and that's what we need more of in this world. I love you guys, and next time, I have no idea what the video is going to bring, but